So you're thinking about moving to Winston-Salem, North Carolina, but you're not sure which suburb actually feels like home. But on paper, they all look great. What we're gonna do in this video is we're gonna jump into Google Maps and really break down what it's like living in Winston-Salem and what each suburb really feels like and what drive times look like, what shopping looks like, parks are around, schools, neighborhoods, just like all the way around it, what it feels and looks like to live in Winston-Salem. Because I feel like that's gonna best help you figure out which suburb works the best for your lifestyle. If this is your first time to my channel, I want to make sure that you don't miss out on any of our upcoming content on any suburbs or anything else Winston-Salem or Greensboro related. So hit subscribe below and tap the bell so you don't miss out on any of our upcoming videos. My name's Carrie Carrico and I've been a realtor in the area for quite a while, and we help people every day just like you figure out if Winston-Salem, Greensboro, or North Carolina is the next place they want to call home. So you can call, text, or DM me or set up a Zoom meeting below so we can chat face-to-face about your next move to North Carolina. Okay, so we're talking about the first suburb that is one of the most popular suburbs in Winston-Salem, and that is Clemmons. Clemmons is right here. It's west of Winston-Salem. It's about 15 minutes, maybe even less, depending on where you're at in Clemmons, to downtown Winston-Salem. So it's super convenient. If you need and want to drive to Winston-Salem a lot, Winston-Salem is very close, and that's why it is one of the most popular suburbs, because it is super close, but you still have that more of a rural feel in Clemmons. It has everything you need in Clemmons. You don't really have to head to Winston unless you want to hit a mall or etc. like that. So there's grocery stores, there's Harris Teeter. In Clemmons, you've got a YMCA. So you've got different gyms. There's also a Planet Fitness. There's Tanglewood Park. We've done videos on Clemmons, so you can hit up our other videos that are specifically on Clemmons and neighborhoods in Clemmons. People love Clemmons because of the schools. It is a sought out area for schools. People love the neighborhoods. There's HOA neighborhoods. There's more rural areas. It has a super tight community feel, and some areas in Clemmons as well. And I've talked about that in other videos. The taxes are going to be a little cheaper because part of Clemmons is in Davidson County and the taxes are definitely cheaper. So that's one advantage. Now, Lewisville is also west of Winston-Salem. So it is very convenient to Winston-Salem, about 15 minutes, 20 minutes at the most. It's going to be more tree-lined streets, larger lots. You will find septic there a lot more. They do have HOA neighborhoods, quite a few. It is tight-knit, quiet, quaint, not a lot of nightlife at all. There's not a ton of outside restaurants, whereas Clemmons has more restaurants, more stores. There's no fast food restaurants in Lewisville, and I've talked about that in other videos. There's like a Subway and a pizza place. Lewisville is definitely quieter, tree-lined streets, more rural. You can find quite a nice home. I did a couple videos on almost $2 million home, so all the different price points, but people love Lewisville, and it's west of Winston-Salem. There's not any medical facilities also in Lewisville, so you would have to drive to Winston-Salem, so you're about 15-20 minutes. Clemmons does have medical, so even if you're in Lewisville and you need to go to the different medical facilities, Clemmons does have its own medical facility as well now. So that's the number 2 suburb. The number 3 suburb is Advance and Bermuda Run. We just did a video on these. These are super, people love Bermuda Run and Advance because it is a golf gated community. It's super sought out. It is a little bit more rural. People like the convenience and the location. It is right off of 40. It's very close to Clemmons as well. There's not going to be a lot of restaurants. You're going to probably end up going to Clemmons to do most of your shopping or Winston-Salem, but people love Bermuda Run and Advance because of the larger lots. In Advance, higher end, quite a bit of the homes are higher end, but people love the golf course lifestyle. They love being near the golf course because Bermuda Run is a fabulous, amazing golf course gated community. So people like being near that country club as well. So that's why Advance is super popular. Also, the schools are very sought out. The taxes are lower out in Davie County, so that's another advantage. But most of your shopping will have to be in Clemmons or Winston-Salem. Now, if you're going to Greensboro, that's a 30-minute drive from either Clemmons, Lewisville, or Advance and Bermuda Run. And just know also, there is one road when you get off in Bermuda Run, then one of the main roads, that you're gonna end up having to drive a lot. That's definitely something that you have to consider is your drive time. If you live out here in Advance, out in Oak Valley, because there's Salem Country Golf Club that is very, very close. It's in Clemmons, but your drive time, this is a main thorough, road. So during higher traffic times, 158 or the other different roads out in Bermuda Run, there's one way to get in, one way to get out. So, during higher traffic times, you got to think about that. But people love that golf course lifestyle all year long. And that's why people love Bermuda Run, Advance. And also they like the wide open spaces that Advance gives you, the more bang for your buck, basically, out in Advance. Beautiful homes, larger lots. Price wise, really, when you're comparing them to closer in Winston, you do get a lot for your money. And people, again, love the schools out there. The fourth suburb we're going to talk about is Kernersville. Now, this is on the east side of Winston-Salem. It is right in between Greensboro and Winston-Salem. So it's super convenient if one person works in Winston-Salem, one works in Greensboro, or maybe you fly a lot because you are going to be a lot closer to the airport. Living in Kernersville, you're about 10-15 minutes at the most to the airport. That's with traffic, heavy traffic. You're about 10 or 15 minutes. I live in Kernersville myself, and I live there because of convenience to get to Greensboro and Winston-Salem because I work in both directions. So for me, I live in Kernersville because I can get both directions in about 20-25 minutes. I can kind of get anywhere. So I go to downtown Greensboro easily in 20-25 minutes, or Winston-Salem in 20-25 minutes. Kernersville also has a VA hospital, has its own hospital, has a YMCA. There's quite a few parks in the area, tons of different neighborhoods. You've got existing neighborhoods, ranch style neighborhoods, also tons of new construction in Kernersville. It's growing rapidly. It has a vibrant downtown. So it's actually pretty built up. There's different bistros, little bars, restaurants, little stores. They're opening a new bookstore. So it has a super community feel to it. Kernersville does. And people love the convenience of being able to go both directions. And Kernersville also is very self-contained. So there's a Target and a Walmart, quite a few grocery stores, quite a few restaurants, fast food restaurants. There is not a mall, so you would have to go to Winston-Salem or Greensboro, but your everyday things that you need, you can definitely get it in Kernersville and you don't have to leave. Again, I've talked about it in other videos. The North Carolina Leadership Academy, I have helped quite a few people move to the area because they wanted their kids to go to that school. Leadership Academy is actually a public school, but it's more run like a private school, but it is public. And then there's a Bishop McGinnis that is also in Kernersville, and that's a private school. But overall, people like the schools as well, but it's a super sought out area. If one of you works in Winston-Salem, one works in Greensboro, and you just like the convenience of being in between both places. Another suburb that we're going to look at is Pfafftown. Now, Pfafftown is north of Winston-Salem. It is an up-and-coming suburb. It is super sought out because of the schools. It has Reagan High School. Everybody wants their kids to go to Reagan High School. One of the highest top-rated schools in the area. So everybody wants to move there. It is up-and-coming, so you can get a little bit more bang for your buck out there. There's quite a few new neighborhoods being built out there as well. You are north of Winston-Salem, so just think that Winston-Salem, it's not going to be as convenient to get downtown. They are putting a new beltway in that will make living in Pfafftown even easier and more accessible. But right now, you're going to be using back roads or, hopping over to 52, 421. There is some grocery stores out there, but overall, you will have to go into Winston-Salem to do most of your shopping. Again, a little bit more rural, larger lots, lots of new construction. It's not very far from Winston-Salem at all. So like Rinaldi Gardens is right near Wake Forest. From Pfafftown, that's like 10-minute drive. So you're not very far. The airport from Pfafftown, again, because you're backtracking and, on some roads, it's only a little bit further. So you're looking at 20-25 minutes, and you are a little bit out rural. Quite a few beautiful parks out there. I really like Pfafftown, and it's super exciting that it's so up and coming. But, they do have grocery stores out there. And again, super sought out for Reagan High School. Everybody wants their kids to go to Reagan. Another suburb, we've talked about this in numerous videos. This is north of Winston-Salem. Now, King is about 20 minutes, at the most 25 minutes from Winston-Salem, depending on where you live in King. It is more rural. It is a community. It is very tight knit. So it's going to have that similar feel to Clemmons, but it is further out. So it has more of a country feel to it. It is at the base of the foothill mountains. So if you like to hike, you're going to be closer to Hanging Rock or Pilot Mountain. It is more rural, so larger lots. You're going to have to run into a lot more septic out there. Super great area. People love the schools out there. The taxes are lower. but again, it's more rural. So you got to think about that. They are building quite a few new construction neighborhoods out there, and I'm actually going to do some videos out there soon, so you'll see those on there. I love King. It's a great suburb. I've always said it's very up and coming, and it's very similar to Clemmons, but it's just north, and it's got a different feel to it because it is a little bit more country and closer to the mountains. It is self-contained, so they've got a Walmart, they've got different restaurants, they've got their downtown. They're building up more of the downtown. It has a YMCA, quite a few grocery stores, so you're not going to have to leave King to do your grocery shopping, but you're pretty much going to have to leave King to go to a Target or a big Walmart or do any of your other shopping. Now they are developing a lot more medical out there, so just know that Novant's got different rehabilitation centers, different medical centers. There's also quite a few dentists out there. So for a lot of your medical, your basic everyday medical, you can actually get it in King, and they're building more and more medical facilities out there. So that's super beneficial. It is right off of 52, which is a busy road. So just know it's going to be highly congested during certain times of the day. Now they're building a beltway, so you can get from King now to Kernersville in 5 to 10 minutes faster. So it'll take you about 20 minutes, maybe 25. Used to take you a good half an hour. Now from King to Greensboro, again, it's going to save you another 5 or 10 minutes. So, it used to take about 40 minutes, maybe 35 at the most now. So you got to think of the airport's going to probably take you a half an hour from King, because this beltway is amazing. It's the most amazing beltway ever. And it's really helping some of these other suburbs that we're going to talk about to develop, because it's so easy to get to these areas. But King, again, love the area. It is more rural. It is very green out there. You have rolling pastures, etc. And it is closer to the mountains. So, that direction. So people love that area, and they just like the quaint feel. It's quieter, and it's just more rural. The 7th suburb we're going to talk about is Walkertown. Now, this is one of them in between Kernersville and Winston-Salem. This beltway, the new beltway that they're putting in, is really helping Walkertown really grow. It's very close to Kernersville, so you're about 10 minutes from Kernersville and 12 to 13 minutes from downtown Winston-Salem. So a lot of people live in Walkertown that maybe don't want to live in Kernersville or Winston-Salem. Lots of rural neighborhoods, close to Blues Lake. So if you like lake life, a lot of people live in Walkertown because they want to be closer to Blues Lake, which is right up here if you own a boat, because that's very close. You're like 5 to 6 minutes from there. They've got a couple grocery stores, very, very small restaurants. 90% of where you're going to eat is it going to be either in Kernersville or Winston-Salem. From Walkertown to the airport, it's going to be about 20 minutes probably from Walkertown, because you're going to have to take the new beltway and then get down to the airport. It's very close. This new beltway is really helping Walkertown and build up fast, because it is a little cheaper out there compared to Kernersville. So people really, really like it, and you can get a little bit more for your money. And again, it's another upcoming suburb around Winston-Salem. The 8th suburb is, and I talk about this in some of my other videos, it's funny because it's actually a city on its own. It is Lexington, and that's south of Winston-Salem. It's about 25 minutes from Winston-Salem. It is a city of its own. It's known for the biggest barbecue festival around the country. So it's known for barbecue. It has a vibrant downtown. It is self-contained. There's medical facilities. It's got its own courthouse. It's its own city. I help a lot of people in general buy in Lexington because you get more land, more house for your money. They have every price point that you can imagine. It does have a city feel to it, a downtown area. So people like that. It is pretty rural compared to Winston-Salem, but it's not a far drive, so it might be the best place for you. If you fly from Charlotte, it's going to be closer, because again, it's 25 minutes closer. So Charlotte's about an hour and a half from Winston-Salem. So you're cutting off, a good 25 minutes, a half an hour. So you're only an hour and 10 minutes from Charlotte's airport. Now from Winston-Salem's airport, probably 45 minutes. So definitely something to think about, but it is a self-contained city. People love Lexington. They love Davidson County taxes because they are cheaper. They love the schools. They love everything about Lexington. So definitely might be something that you want to hit up. It's got country clubs. There's Epona, and then there's another golf club or country club downtown in Lexington as well. but it's got restaurants, it's got shopping, it kind of has everything you need. But if you want major stores, malls, etc., you're going to have to go to Winston-Salem, or you're going to have to go to Concord or Charlotte or Greensboro. Greensboro to Lexington, again, is about 40 minutes. High Point is closer to Lexington, so that's 20 minutes at the most. You're really centrally located, so you're not as far out, but it is about 25 minutes out of Winston-Salem, so it's definitely something to think about if you live in Lexington. It's another suburb that's it's a city on its own, but it is up and coming, definitely. And I hope a ton of people move to Lexington or the rural parts of Lexington, because you do get a lot of bang for your buck out there. So that was all the 8 top suburbs in Winston-Salem. And you notice that number 8 is actually a city on its own, which is kind of crazy that it's still considered a suburb, but it's actually a city. And it's only 20 or 25 minutes outside of Winston-Salem. If you guys have any questions about any area in North Carolina, Winston-Salem, or anything about the top suburbs or Greensboro, I'd love to be able to chat with you. You can call, text, or DM me, or set up a Zoom meeting below, and we can chat face-to-face about your future move to North Carolina.